And now yesterday we were saying, Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam Sarvatra Samabuddhayaha Te Prapnuvanti Mamyeva Sarvabhuta Hiterataha. Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam is what we were saying. For a devotee, every desire is channelized towards Bhagavan. And the devotee need not actually control any of the senses. He just or she just needs to divert it to Krishna. But for Nirguna Nishta, Indriyas are a problem. They are the distraction. Why? Because it should not work. It has to be controlled. When I say it should not work, of course they don't shut their eyes. It means the mind should not be frittered away through the Indriyas. You see. So what they do is, they constantly do Nindanam, Loka Nindanam, Indriya Nindanam, Mano Nindanam. This is Prakaranam. Mano Ninda Prakaranam, Loka Ninda Prakaranam. You see, for them they have to do Ninda. Why? Only then you get an aversion. The Lokam, Lokam is ungrateful. The Lokam is useless. The Lokam is temporary. Lokam is a ghost, pay. இப்படிதான் நினைக்கணும். அப்போதான் Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam. Constantly they have to look for dosha. Constantly they have to find faults in the world again and again, so that the mind does not go there. The mind, they have to use buddhi to tell the mind. Sametal adikirudum solvom இல்லையா? Pottu they have to keep on beating their mind, saying, Poriye, arivu irukka, in the world ku poi poriye. Anityam, Asuddham, for a bhakta, Lokata Paatah, Vaichitriya, Rasipan, Krishna, when he looks at the peacock, the lovely plumes of the peacock, the shiny plumes of peacock, so many blue, so many violet, so much green, in one place you get all the three shades. Vaichitriya Krishna, eppadi padachirukappa. Bhakta can enjoy all this. But Nirguna Nishta, Guname illana, Brahmat Guna lana, Lokata rascha enna pandrathu. So he would look at the world and said, I'm seeing this, who is seeing it? There is dosham there. Inniki blue ah irukku, naalake ippadithaan ponum. Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam. Pull it back in. And the example given by Bhagavan is, when there is a turtle with 4 legs and a head, or 4 legs and a tail, when it is walking like this, 4 heads, a head and a tail. Okay. If you throw a stone, what happens? All the 5. You see? Like that, our Bhagavan says, a yogi has to take all the 5 organs of senses, which means he should not allow the senses to go out. So Shama and Dhamma, first of all, don't show anything of the world to the senses, because world romba polladu, mischievous. So a yogi does not want to see things which is, he does not want to see anything at all. What to do? Because anything I see will put a ripple in my heart. So as far as possible, I won't see anything outside. As far as possible, Badram Karne Vishrunuyama Deva, only Upanishad Vakyam I will listen. As far as possible, I don't want to taste anything. You see, a bhakta would offer it to Bhagavan, taste it, and say, Krishna, Panchavaksha Paramanamai Naku Potendriki. Abdini he can have, you see, he may not, but even have it, dosha. But a yogi has to first control the palate. Tongue da mudalla control pan. Why? Because the root cause of everything, the mind's vikara, one of the major causes is food. And see Bhagavan's mischief. He made most tasty things very bad for mind. You see. Karam nalla dhaan irukku, rajasam. Ice cream nalla dhaan irukku, tamasam. Too much cold is tamasam. What to do? So here, Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam means constantly Ninda. Appada, the mind won't go the way in which the Indriyas go. Adi Shankara Bhagavad Gita has given a nice way to prepare your intellect, our intellect, to control the senses. We have 5 senses, na? We see, we smell, we taste, we hear, and we also smell, taste, and we see, we hear, and also feel. So you have the 5. In Sanskrit, it's easy to remember. Rupa Sparsha Gandham, and you also have Sabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandham. Abdin or Gramam, we remember. Sabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandham, you say. Shabdam, Sparsham, Rupam, Rasam, Gandham. So you have the 5 sense organs. Na? Now, how do I prepare my intellect to be alert? There was a great Mahatma in Jnana Marga who said, Pasittiru, Vijittiru. You see, you control your tongue and the stomach. Remain hungry, remain awake. Awake, na, be alert. Hungry, na, always look for ways and means and be alert so that you don't unnecessarily get diverted. You see? And here he said, how do I prepare my intellect to hold my senses? Azhagana oru shloka by our Adi Shankara Bhagavad Gita, which comes, I believe, in Viveka Chudamani. Shabdadibihi panchabhiryeva pancha panchattvamapusva gunena baddha kuranga matanga patanga meena bringa nara panchabhe ranchitakim. Even the prasam alliteration, kuranga matanga patanga meena bringa. He is talking about Vedanta, control the senses. Adula or poetry. Shabdadibi panchabhiryeva pancha. With all these 5 types of sensation outside, which is Sabda Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandham, Galnala, Shabdadibi Naramchita. So you have sound, you have taste, you have nice scene to see, and we have a lot of wonderful sounds to listen to, a lot of things to feel, touch, etc. And these are all going to attack our sense organs, and the sense organs are going to draw our mind outside to the world. And he is reminding, be careful. Be careful. Why? There is a animal, you all know deer, and this is one of the 24 gurus also. You see, in our Ekadasa Skandam, Dattatreya Swami is saying the same thing. Kuranga, Matanga, Patanga, Meena, Bringa. So here what happens is, you have a deer, Kuranga. And the deer runs really fast. It knows how to dodge an arrow. And it is very difficult for us to catch a deer. But a hunter, you know what he does? When he spots a deer, he can't chase the deer and shoot an arrow. It's not possible. So what he does, he takes a horn and makes a very sweet music. Music. The moment that sound hits the deer's ears, even though the deer knows that there is a hunter with an arrow pointing towards it, that sound infatuates the deer. It stops for a second. And that time is enough for the hunter to put an arrow, pull it back, and then with tremendous velocity pierce the body of deer, kill it. So deer has a weakness, the weakness in ear, and the weakness for listening to sweet sounds, Gramya Gita. And that is enough for the deer to lose its life. See, it is weak in one sense organ called ear. And Matangana, elephant. Sabda Sparsha dana. And elephant is, how do you catch generally a he-elephant is, as people say, they tie a she-elephant and create a big ditch before that she-elephant. This he-elephant has this tremendous joy of touching the she-elephant, sparsha. So with this tremendous enthusiasm to touch that she-elephant, the he-elephant comes running, falls down the pit, and then becomes a slave to all these hunters who make this elephant do unimaginable things. Because it has a weakness of touch, even though elephant is strong otherwise, strong memory, everything, that weakness of touch completely spoils the life of the elephant. The deer, it has a weakness in sense of hearing. Elephant has a weakness in touch. And then patanga, there are something called fireflies. These fireflies, what it does is, whenever there is fire, and because it's attracted by these flames, which are so colorful, orange dark, red dark, suddenly it becomes dark. So this firefly comes very close to the flame because it wants to see it in close quarters. As it comes closer and closer, part of its wings get burnt. It falls down. At least it should have learned the lesson. Na? No, it doesn't. Again, it tries with at least half of its wings and tries to come close to the fire because it is looking so beautiful. As it comes closer and closer, all its wings gets burnt out and it also falls into the fire and dies. The fish's chapalyam, the weakness of a fish is in taste. So the easiest way in which a fish is caught is what is called a bait. Na? Bait. And Aragana Gurunathar says that the fish, thinking that it has a tasty food in the bait, goes and catches that food and ends up becoming a tasty food for the fisherman. You see. And so fish has a weakness for taste, ruchi chapalyam, and it also dies. Bringa, it is said that these bees, they are so attracted by the smell of the honey in the lotus. That's how it goes there. And then because it is so busy drinking the taste of honey in the lotus, it forgets that it is already evening time, and slowly the lotus starts closing in the evening. And the bee is so busy enjoying the sensation of taste that it does not know that the life is closing up on it. And because the flower totally closes, the bee gets completely, it gets caught inside the lotus, and then it also dies. So our Adi Shankara Bhagavad Paatah says, deer meets its end because of its weakness of sound, and elephant meets its end because of its weakness of touch. This firefly meets its end because of the weakness of sight, and fish meets its end because of weakness of taste, and bringa, which is the bee, attains its end because of the weakness of smell. Hey Nara, hey Manisha, you have all the 5 weak. How are you going to protect yourself? You see? At least these animals had only one weakness. That was enough to finish them. For a human, all the 5 sense organs are weak. Na? Our Prahalada Swami says, like a husband having 5 wives who pull him in various directions. All my 5 sense organs are pulling me in various directions. Narasimha, Prabhu, protect me, is what he's crying. Na? Even that cry, this chap can't do. He has to find ways and means to somehow control the 5 sense organs. And how does he do? Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam, Indriya Ninda. அழகா பார்க்கும்போது அடிக்கணும். என்ன அடிக்கணும்? Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam. This is how the firefly dies. Do you want to die? Or do you want to live forever? Don't look at things. Pull it back. இதுதான் சம்மட்டால அடிக்கிறதுன்னு அர்த்தம். Hitting it again and again. Sanniyamya. When you listen to a nice Gramya Geetam na shruNuyAt. When he is listening, immediately the intellect should say, wait, what are you listening? Do you remember how the deer dies because it listens to something like that? Do you want to die? Pull it. Don't listen. Don't pay attention to it. Pull it in. When somebody gives something very tasty to eat and say, Allah irke, rendavathu gulab jamun saapidalama, remember the fish. Whenever you eat something, fishy in therinjukontaru. It is atmaka fishy. So don't even think about it. Don't indulge in taste. Pull it in. Whenever you see, nalla mrithuva irke, alaga irke, touch. Yogis la touch pannakoodadhu. Why should we touch anybody? Ivladha yogi. Namaskaram. Vinayam, touch vanda. Yenna, ipdidana touch la maatin. Right? And then you have this patangam, we covered bringam, smell. Allah irke, no. You see. Remember, this is how the bumblebee died in a lotus. We can control the senses. Do you see how difficult it is? Sanniyamya Indriya Gram. For a bhakta, when he's tempted or when she's tempted, we can say, Krishna, Chapalama irkene, Krishna, Mamcha Palaya, Mahanubhava, Krishna, you can pray. Here, what prayer can a yogi who is established in Nirguna, yarkita pray pannuvar ava? He has to, or she has to be the master of his own senses by practice. Adipattu, 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 thirumba, thirumba, thirumba. Reminding, இப்படிதான் நீ போன வாட்டி பண்ண, அப்புறம் என்னாச்சு, தியானம் போச்சா, don't do it, pull it, pull it. So do you see, there is no external help for a yogi, nirguna nishta, and the yogi. And by constantly being aware, by constantly understanding, by constantly being alert, without even leave, that defenses cannot drop at all. If we drop the defense for even a second, na adudha adoda offense. It will finish us off. Sanniyamya indriya gram sarvatra. You see, sarvatra. Samabuddhayaha. Samabuddhayaha na constantly using our intellect, our intelligence to say, what is that you want? You want samatvam. What is that you want? You want brahmam. You want atma. This is going to be inimical to your pursuit towards atma swarupam. Don't do it. Don't do it. This much vairagya is required for a nirguna nishta. And so Bhagavan is saying, sanniyamya indriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hiterataga. And sama means tulya buddhi. And he should not have ishta, and he should not have an ishta. I like this, I don't like this. We should, that yogi cannot allow any such luxuries at all, because it will finish that yoga off. And so when that person does like that and attain atma sakshatkaram, that anandam dvajalyama swayam prakasama ulla prakasika kudiya, when he has that anubhavam, then he also attains Krishna only, Paramatma only. And so our Bhagavan said that those people has to control their senses and constantly be on the alert. They have no other external support except their own conviction, alertness, awareness, and love for their goal to actually be Akshma Sakshatkarata. So for them, our Bhagavan is going to say, it is going to be very difficult, because it is the natural tendency for the sense organs to go and attach to the objects in the world. It is natural tendency for the mind to vacillate, and they have to go against the current of a river. It is like swimming across the river against the current. Bhakti means holding on to something, and Bhagavan says, I will open a sail for you to somehow take you to the other shore. But here in Jnana Vichara Marga, we are our own support. There is nothing else to look for. All alone. We have to fight, it seems. And that is the reason why Bhagavan says, it is not going to be very easy. And I don't want to see a difficult path as the supreme path. In fact, I want to show a sure path, a simple path, and an easy path as the supreme path. Otherwise, both leads to the same goal as per Bhagavan. But among these two, I consider people who are doing Saguna Bhakti as supreme, is what Bhagavan has said, isn't it? So, the difficulty in the path of Jnana Vichara is this. And that's why for Jnana Vichara, there is Adhikaritva. Unless we have some basic control over the senses, unless we have some basic Shama, Dharma, unless we have some basic Samabuddhi towards likes and dislikes, unless we have some basic control over our impulses, unless we have some basic control over our sensitivities. Romba sensitive Jnana Margathukku they are not fit. Why? Because very sensitive. The moment something they are affected, then adallam control pandrathu romba kashtam illaya. So adanaladha for the entry of Jnana Marga, they have what is called as sadhana shat sampatti, and 4 important qualities to make us eligible for us to progress in the path. And adallam illana, easiest path Bhagavan says is everybody is adhikari for bhakti. Everybody can chant, Everybody can remember Bhagavan, isn't it? Everybody can do some simple puja. Everybody can listen to Bhagavad Katha. And in Bhagavad Katha, the madri intense listening and understanding is not required. All we need to do is listen with our heart. Krishna, Bhagavar Kapa, Sundarate, Dhyana, Ubhavite. But for this, you have to apply. You have to be watchful. It is how difficult this is. So Bhagavan is showing the difficulty of the path of Nirguna Bhakti to underline his earlier statement, Yome, that people who follow the path of Saguna Bhakti, I consider them to be the supreme knowers of yoga. We will see more of it in the days to come.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,